There is a silent hunger that haunts most people, the hunger to be understood. It begins quietly, almost innocently. In childhood, when we first feel the sting of being dismissed, misheard, or misunderstood. And from that moment on, the need grows. We start shaping ourselves to be more palatable, easier to digest. Less complicated, we cut off the sharp edges of our truth so they won't hurt the ones around us. We soften our voice, we smile through confusion. And slowly, we forget what it was like to simply exist without having to be explained. But here's a brutal truth. The more you crave to be understood, the more power you give away. The world doesn't owe you understanding. Most people are too consumed with themselves to see you clearly. They hear through the filters of their pain, respond from their insecurities, and project their fears onto your intentions. And so you explain, again and again, hoping the right words will unlock their empathy. But they rarely do, because they were never listening. Not really. There is a quiet suffering in constantly having to justify who you are. It becomes exhausting. You say things like, they don't get me. Maybe I didn't explain it well. Maybe I'm too much. Until eventually, you begin to shrink. Not to find peace, but to avoid friction. But here's the paradox. The more you try to be understood by everyone, the less you understand yourself. Because you're no longer expressing, you're performing. You're no longer revealing, you're rehearsing. And in the desperate attempt to be seen, you end up invisible to yourself. Carl Jung once wrote, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." But how can you become that if you're always tailoring yourself to fit someone else's comprehension? Maybe you weren't born to be understood. Maybe you were born to be true. And there's a difference, a dangerous one. The world teaches you that communication is the bridge to connection. But sometimes, silence is the only boundary that protects your soul from being dissected by those who don't deserve to hold it. If you're someone who's tired of bending so others can feel comfortable, if you're tired of putting your truth in smaller boxes just so they fit the room, then keep watching. And if you're not ready to stop playing the role of the agreeable version of yourself, if comfort means more than growth, then don't subscribe. Seriously, this channel is not for you. We're not here to whisper affirmations. We're here to strip the illusions. So here's the question for you to sit with until the next block. Are you trying to be understood, or are you trying to be free? Freedom begins the moment you stop negotiating your truth. But to get there, you'll need to cross a bridge most never dare. The acceptance of being misunderstood. You see, most people don't actually want to know who you are. They want to know who you are in relation to them, how you serve their needs, validate their worldview, or challenge their comfort zone. And if you threaten any of that, they don't try to understand you, they reduce you. They'll call your depth too much, your stillness cold, your ambition arrogant, your boundaries selfish. But don't let the language of the uncomfortable redefine your integrity. The burden of being understood is heavier than most realize. It's a prison with invisible bars. You keep trying to say it better, softer, simpler. But the truth is not always soft, nor should it be. Some truths were meant to stand alone, not be diluted by the expectations of others. And here's the harsh reality. The pursuit of universal understanding is the death of authenticity. Not everyone can hold your truth, and that's not your failure. That's their limitation. So what's the alternative? To choose solitude over distortion. To choose clarity over popularity. To speak your truth once, and let silence speak the rest. There's a certain power in being misjudged. If you understand the value of your silence, because silence doesn't mean surrender, it means you've stopped trying to convince people who were never really listening. It means you've stepped into your center, the place where you no longer need approval, only alignment. When you choose this path, you will lose people. But here's what they don't tell you. You'll also find people, the ones who don't need a 3-hour explanation to feel you. The ones who understand, not with their ears, but with their presence. And even if they never come, you'll have found someone far more important, yourself. So ask yourself, right now, who am I constantly trying to explain myself to, and why do I keep handing them that power? You were not born to be decoded by everyone. Some people were meant to misunderstand you, so they could reveal their limits, and you could reclaim your clarity. There's a cruel irony here. The more self-aware you become, the lonelier the path can feel. Because the world applauds conformity, not consciousness. And when you begin to speak from the depths of your own clarity, you'll quickly notice who was only ever comfortable with the mask you used to wear. Understand this. Being misunderstood is not a curse, it's a filter. It separates the noise from the necessary. It strips away the people who are only drawn to your softness, never your strength. And what remains is real. So stop bending your language to fit their ears. Stop performing your pain so they'll feel something. Stop watering yourself down to fit into shallow spaces. You don't need to be understandable. You need to be undeniable. Let your presence confuse them. Let your silence unsettle them. Let your self-respect offend them. Because the moment you choose alignment over approval, you begin to access a power that is no longer dependent on the outside world. A power that moves in silence, decides in clarity, and walks away without noise. And if you're still holding on to the belief that your worth is tied to how well you are received, let this be your final break from that illusion. Not everyone will understand your boundaries. Not everyone will accept your evolution. And not everyone deserves to. Your clarity will cost you, but your confusion has cost you more. So here's your invitation. Stop seeking permission. Start embodying your presence. The next time someone misunderstands your distance, your silence, your restraint, don't explain, smile, because they're not seeing arrogance. They're witnessing the moment you finally chose yourself. And what could be more powerful than that? Now, answer this. What part of yourself have you been shrinking just to feel understood? And what would happen if you stopped?